Caitlin Clark, Chloe Bibby are waiting for at half court. And the cop tries to get Sophie Cunningham to move. Sophie Cunningham was like, so Odyssey Sims goes down hard. And Sophie Cunningham.
Chaos has hit the WNBA once again. What was supposed to be a night of celebration for the Indiana Fever quickly turned into one of the league's most shocking scandals. A league cop, someone whose job is to protect players, was fired after an explosive outburst aimed directly at Sophie Cunningham.
You know, there's a lot of emotions just because I have been out there for so long. But to be honest, my original thought was like, oh, heck yeah, like we're about to go win a championship. Like that's exactly where my mind went.
Fans are asking, why Sophie? Why now? And what does this mean for the Fever, Caitlin Clark, and the WNBA moving forward? Stick around, because this story is bigger than one incident. It could change how the league protects its players, handles controversies, and manages rivalries in the spotlight. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss breaking WNBA drama updates. The Fever's big night. Let's set the scene. The Indiana Fever were in celebration mode after a huge playoff win. The arena was buzzing. Fans were on their feet, cheering. Caitlin Clark once again delivered the kind of performance that keeps her name trending worldwide. And Sophie Cunningham, always the heart and fire of the team, played her signature aggressive style. This was the kind of night the Fever had dreamed about for years, a playoff victory that symbolized their resurgence, their rise, and their potential to challenge for a championship.
Upgraded in any way. Odyssey was holding her right shoulder.
But within minutes, the narrative shifted from victory to controversy. The incident. Here's what happened. Witnesses say that as players were leaving the court and interacting with fans, a league cop, part of the WNBA's official security detail, suddenly shouted at Sophie Cunningham. The tone was aggressive, loud, and shocking. Fans nearby say Sophie looked stunned, as did her teammates. What exactly triggered the outburst? That's still being debated. Some say Sophie was in a heated exchange with opposing players. Others suggest the cop misread a situation about post-game access. But here's the key. Instead of diffusing tension, the officer created it. And in the world of professional sports, that's unacceptable. Within hours, the WNBA announced the officer was fired. Why Sophie? So why was Sophie Cunningham the target? To understand this, you need to understand Sophie herself. She's not just another player. She's one of the league's most polarizing figures.
I also think it shows the growth that we've had as a team, because early in the season we were just so inconsistent, and if teams were to do that, we would normally lose those games, but it just shows that we're getting closer, we're trusting each other.
Fans of the Fever love her for her toughness, her hustle, and her fearless energy. She's the kind of player who dives for loose balls, plays through pain, and never backs down from a challenge. But opponents see her differently, too aggressive, too loud, too willing to trash talk. That reputation makes Sophie a lightning rod, and when you're a lightning rod, you attract both love and hate. This incident, whether intentional or not, exposed how Sophie is treated differently. For her supporters, it was proof she's being unfairly targeted. For critics, it was just Sophie being Sophie. The league's swift decision. The WNBA acted quickly, announcing that the officer had been terminated. That speed sent a message. The league won't tolerate security crossing the line. But behind that decision lies a bigger question. Was this about protecting Sophie or protecting the league's image? The WNBA is growing faster than ever. With Caitlin Clark bringing millions of new viewers and sponsors, every headline matters. The league can't afford a PR disaster, so firing the officer might have been less about justice and more about damage control. Still, the move showed fans that players' safety and their respect matters. At least, that's the message the league wants to send. Fan reactions. If you've been online, you know fans had a lot to say. On X, Twitter, Hashtags like hashtag Justice for Sophie and WNBA Chaos trended for hours. Fever fans called Sophie the heart of the team and demanded accountability. Some even claimed this incident exposed bias against outspoken female athletes. On the flip side, a few critics argued that Sophie's aggressive style often invites drama, and this was just another example. But the overwhelming majority sided with Sophie, saying no player, especially during a playoff celebration, should be screamed at by someone whose role is to provide safety. The Caitlin Clark factor. Here's where it gets even bigger. While Sophie was at the center of the storm, Caitlin Clark's name couldn't stay out of the headlines. Why? Because Caitlin is the face of the Fever and the entire WNBA right now. Every story connected to the Fever automatically becomes connected to her. Analysts asked, did Caitlin step in? Did she defend Sophie behind the scenes? Did this incident distract her from celebrating one of the biggest wins of her career? Caitlin kept her response professional, telling reporters the team was focused on basketball. But the truth is, her presence magnifies every controversy. The Fever's rise is tied to Caitlin's stardom, and that spotlight means every incident becomes a national conversation. The rivalry angle. This wasn't just about security, it was about rivalry. The Fever's playoff win came against a fierce opponent, and emotions were already sky high. Sophie Cunningham has always been in the middle of heated rivalries. Her style demands it. Some insiders believe the officer's outburst was fueled by that same tension. Rivalries don't end when the buzzer sounds. They spill into the post-game atmosphere, and Sophie, being who she is, may have been caught in the middle of emotions boiling over. What this means for the Fever. For the Fever, this incident is both a distraction and a spotlight. On one hand, it risks pulling attention away from their playoff push. Coaches know distractions can derail focus, especially in high-stakes games. On the other hand, the drama keeps the Fever and the WNBA on the front page. Every headline about Sophie or Caitlin brings more attention, more clicks, and more conversation about women's basketball. And in the long run, that might actually help grow the league. Sophie's future. So what happens to Sophie Cunningham now? Some believe this incident will boost her reputation, solidifying her as the WNBA's bad girl who thrives in the middle of chaos.
Players they have. So Caitlin Clark, Chloe Bibby right there on the bench. But then you have Sophie Cunningham, Sid Colson, Harry McDonald, all.
Fans love players who aren't afraid to stir the pot, and Sophie has leaned into that role before. Others worry it could make her a bigger target. Referees might watch her more closely, opponents might see her as vulnerable, and league officials might view her as a magnet for trouble. But if history tells us anything, Sophie will respond the only way she knows how, by playing harder, louder, and tougher. What this reveals about the WNBA, zoom out for a moment. This incident isn't just about Sophie, or one officer, or even one game. It's about the WNBA growing under pressure. The league is no longer niche. It's global. Every decision, every controversy, every headline is magnified. With bigger audiences come bigger responsibilities, and mistakes are amplified. This means the WNBA has to step up its game in training, security, communication, and transparency. Fans want professionalism. Players deserve protection. And the league can't afford repeated scandals. This firing might be a short-term fix, but the long-term question is, will the WNBA learn from it? At the end of the day, this was supposed to be a night of joy for the Indiana Fever. Instead, it became one of the most dramatic stories of the season. Sophie Cunningham was unfairly singled out. A league cop crossed the line and lost their job, and the WNBA was left scrambling to manage the fallout. But through it all, one thing remains clear. The Fever are still chasing a championship. Caitlin Clark is still rewriting the script for women's basketball. And Sophie Cunningham, love her or hate her, she's still the fire that keeps fans talking. So now we turn it over to you. Do you think Sophie was unfairly targeted? Was the league right to act so quickly? And what do you think this means for the future of the WNBA? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss another breakdown of the biggest WNBA stories. This drama is far from over.